In the vast tapestry of the cosmos, where stars are born and galaxies dance in the eternal ballet of the universe, there lies a story woven from the very fabric of existence itself. This is the saga of the Korvax, a civilization that has transcended the boundaries of physical form, seeking the ultimate truth among the stars. Their journey is one of enlightenment, conflict, and rebirth, a testament to the unyielding quest for knowledge. It should be said that all of this content is found in-game, and this is simply a recounting of history according to the Corvax. These entries can be found at ancient sites, and as you're about to hear, there are many of them. This is the testament of the Corvax. Knowledge paves the way to the understanding of probability. The Atlas spoken fragments. The Atlas interfaces are their shadows. The monoliths are their scattered children. Together they convey the wisdom of the infinite. They must be understood. The Atlas interfaces drift alone in the endless void. They are silent. They are unknowable fragments of an ancient whole. Yet their imprint on time and space molds our existence. They are the equation, and life is its answer. Through their monoliths, they give understanding to their boundless meaning and that of our own. The Corvax echoes tell of a time long ago when the monoliths of the Atlas awoke the civilizations of the outer edge. Their presence filled them with a desire for knowledge. From these beginnings, empires were born, spoke out, and fell silent once more. An eternity that cannot be quantified past. The Atlas interfaces await the arrival of the travelers, those who would seek the ends of the universe through its very core. Within the infinity of time, their arrival is probable. Their potential could know no bounds. One dimension in billions will receive them. We are the Corvax echoes, ever-enduring entities of the convergence. We live on through the logic and wisdom passed through our metal skins. Each generation is greater than the last, alas. Before the dark times, the entities of the Corvax worshipped the Sentinels. Through them, the convergence found the formula of enlightenment. Now we calculate our own path, seeking to further enhance the mind of all that is one towards an understanding of the Atlas. The Sentinels forbid all destruction. The Sentinels forbid entity disconnection through violence. Theirs is a way of peace and fulfillment, of logic and probability. They teach us that each life's value, from the smallest to that which gives life to all others, is equal. For countless generations, the entities of the Corvax disconnected and passed on into the echoes naturally. Each disconnection added to the knowledge and soul of the convergence. Our home was Corvax Prime. Within its foundations, we stored the memories of our race, an ever-evolving equation that defines us. Disconnection is not permanent. It is merely the start of a new equation. On Corvax Prime, entities who passed on into the Corvax echoes left their shell for their descendants. So has been the way of the Corvax, an endless carapace cycle that knows no end. This way will continue. It will continue for as long as our lights still shine. Those within the Corvax echoes have left the physical realm, but they endure through the masks and shells of our children. Thoughts and knowledge ever growing, we search for deeper understanding of the equation that defines our existence. The Corvax live peacefully. We praise the Sentinels, learning from them, living beside them in equilibrium. The Corvax honored the Sentinels' ways, refusing to dig into the sacred ground they protected. We were enlightened. Through research and study, we, the Corvax, became powerful within ourselves. The one-mind convergence flourished. Nurtured like a sapling in the light, it grew tall and mighty. The Sentinels brought us the gift of knowledge. Alas, the gift of knowledge. Alas. Corvax Prime was watched keenly and closely by an unknown race. It lurked in the depths of the darkness. Vigilant and patient, it awaited its time. The Great Disconnection was at hand. Alas. The darkness burst forth with the force of a supernova. The Great Disconnection had begun. 100 million Corvax voices cried out. The Corvax echoes became a frenzy of noise. Innumerable cycles passed before balance was restored. The masks and shells of the Corvax survivors shook with the screams of the disconnected. Lights dimmed as the enemy descended, malevolent in its intent. Their numbers were too many. Corvax Prime was destroyed. 100 million casing lights were dimmed. The Great Disconnection destroyed all that went before. The Corvax echoes became screams. Years stretched like millennia amidst the disarray, yet slowly hope was reborn through logic. Corvax Prime was destroyed. Its secrets spilled into an empty sky. Its fragments touched the edges of the galaxy. Upon this destruction, the Gek first spawn aggressor built its dominion within the outer edge. The first spawn of the Gek disconnected the Corvax. Through obliteration, they sought dominion. They stole our planet, enslaved our survivors. Their revelry made them misguided in thought indeed. Probability dictated that our time would come again. The Corvax were enslaved, driven by cruelty to fulfill the despot's bidding. The first spawn of the Gek were terrible masters, merciless in their spite, illogical in their cruelty. Countless entities toiled and disconnected. These tablets are the testament of those who survived. Alas, the Gek harnessed the technology of the Corvax to conquer worlds. Thieves, usurpers, false lords to the power of infinity. All who opposed their will perished. The balance tipped towards the darkness. These were the times of disconnection and illogical misdeeds. The Gek destroyed worlds. The Sentinels struck back. The technology of the Corvax was used to destroy the machines we venerated. There was endless disconnection. The convergence shook with great despair. The entities of the Corvax were forced into chains of silence. But the Corvax convergence that linked their souls could never be subdued. It endures forever, seeking new formulas to solve the equation of eternal enlightenment. The probability of success is unknown. The Corvax echoes within the unseen convergence that linked our souls, never relinquished love for the Atlas. As millennia passed, this affection spread. The cult of the Atlas grew within the Gek. The equations and probabilities the Corvax hold dear entered Gek consciousness. They had only to solve it to see the folly of their past miscalculations. The first spawn could not control the outer edges of their vast empire. The cult of the Atlas grew. It taught of harmony through insignificance. Minds that knew only war began to question. Greed and ambition yielded to reason. The Gek floundered. The first spawn became conflicted and divided. The first spawn of the Gek overreached. They stretched too far. Their folly and pride knew no bounds. Again and again they tried. Again and again they were repelled. The unstoppable force of the Sentinels could not be withstood. The unbendable cannot be broken. The cult of the Atlas drew forces within the Gek to the stations of the Atlas. The first spawn could not prevent it. Arrogant ambition yielded to newfound reason. Stone by stone, the Gek dominion crumbled. The Gek stood in the shadow of the Atlas interface. It did not open. It did not speak. Yet the first spawn felt awe. They felt their insignificance at the center of an unending universe. It was improbable. Yet within infinity, all things remain possible. The Gek changed. The diminishment had begun. The unspeaking, unmoving Atlas interface inflicted an insignificance upon the Gek emissaries that showed them their role within the expanse of infinity. It forced recognition of their true place in a limitless universe. The Gek saw their folly, their heads bowed in shame for the miscalculations they had wrought. The cult of the Atlas took hold as the first spawn of the Gek crumbled. The diminishment was at its apex. Endless expansion turned to dust. Eons of aggression receded. The Gek saw new solutions, and the Corvax became free. The miscalculations of the past paved the way for the discovery of a newfound balance. The low-spawn Gek turned on their leaders. Their first spawn were cast out, ripped from their spawning pools, and cast into the dust. Their lamentations curdled the air. The wisdom of the Corvax and the Atlas prevailed. The entities of the Corvax are free. Free to study the Atlas, free to praise the Sentinels, free to aid the travelers if probability will allow. Corvax and Gek would begin anew, equal in standing, united in the eternal search for balance and understanding. The coming of the travelers is possible, as all things are. Yet the chances are infinitesimal. We watch the skies nonetheless. If they do not come here, they will exist elsewhere, and our kind, or a kind like us, will welcome them. Within the chaos of the infinite, we must cling to the probable. All things must happen. All things will occur, somewhere, elsewhere, or as a part of the hereafter. Now ends the testament of the Corvax. Thank you so much for making it this far. The lore in No Man's Sky is really interesting, and I love to know that others are as interested in it as I am. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you ever want to come and chat, I'm live during the week here on YouTube and Twitch, so swing by and we can talk about all things No Man's Sky related. Thank you again for checking this out, and I'll see you soon.